Are you are you someone who gets goose pimples if I say you get what you think about? Or that you plan your life before you get here and choose your parents? I mean, I'm that kind of person. So if you are, hi, we belong together, right? I'm Emily. And I'm not looking to sell you anything, but I am looking to tell you a story because I think it's really interesting. And if you're into cycles and how law of attraction works and what it can look like, I think I have a great story for you. Like my life is very funny, so I'm just going to process it as I talk about it. But there's like sort of these just really clean cycles. So what am I talking about? I live in Colorado Springs right now. I don't like this city. I moved here for the first time in 1995. We were coming back from living in Belgium. I was 15 and I felt like my life was on one trajectory before I got here. And it was on a very different trajectory when I left. Not in a good way. We lived in a house that was like haunted with like demon stuff happening, and I went back to public school a grade ahead, so I was 15-year-old as a junior. And it was just with really strict religious parents, and I couldn't acclimate. I had been hanging out in Europe as my mom's tag along at NATO events. I was with the NATO wives, hanging out with like generals and and like very high elite people. You come back to an American high school. I had no ability to understand what was happening culturally there, how these people do relationship, and I didn't want to do relationship like American high schoolers. It just never made sense to me. But needless to say, I didn't acclimate well. And there was a lot of trauma at home. So I left not in great shape. And so I always felt like my life sort of went on this like messy, wild course after that. Like, I always call it a rolling stone, like rolling here and rolling there. And I have met so many people. Like if you ever reach out and we knew each other at one point and I don't initially remember you, please forgive me. Please understand I've met thousands of people all across the country because I haven't been married until the last 4 years. It's going to be 4 years in August. But really until I got here this time, and I was 39 when I rolled into town. No, 38 when I rolled into town. And anyway, so with that being said, I came back here in Colorado Springs after I got married with my husband. We decided to move here. And I haven't enjoyed being back. It just doesn't have a great feel, this city. It's a lot of military, and I don't know, it just feels so stagnant. Like everything's like, ugh. I don't know what that is, because there's all these churches. So you think it would be like this lively, yay, Christian Jesus, let's all be loving and happy together. But that isn't the energy coming out of the Christian church. We all can see that now, right? Anyway, so it's so weird that now I'm 45, back here again, 30 years later. Exactly, right? Like I was 15, now I'm 45, and this weekend I'm going to be 46, and I feel like I'm going to my sweet 16 again, and I'm graduating with my master's, not from high school. I was 17 when I graduated from high school. Believe it or not, I'd only been 17 for a week, right? Because in Colorado, they graduate in early May, and I turned 17, April 26th, and we graduated like May 6th or something. So almost 16. So anyway, so I feel like I'm going through the same sort of graduation. And it's so weird because I had that sense when we came here. I even said it to my husband. I was like, I feel like I'm going back to when I was like 15 again and starting over. Like I really feel like my life split, and I went on this really 30-year journey and then came back, and I'm like, I feel like the universe was like, you have to start here again. You have to like start in the same place and then go in this different direction. And this experience of Colorado Springs has been totally different. I've actually made some really good girlfriends in the last year, which is rather shocking. If you've ever, speaking of difficulty acclimating to high school, like I've never understood how women do relationships, and it's difficult usually to meet women you vibe with. And now I've met multiple relationships that I'll be taking with me that are really meaningful. Like women, like I really like them, and we really connect, which is interesting to find here in this town where I would say like, there's nobody like me. Wrong. But I do feel now that as we're moving to Vegas and I'm turning 46 and we're graduating, it's so weird that everything here is kind of coming to a close before I go and like pop up sort of my business and beingness from a whole different level. And it's not that I haven't been coaching here and I don't have amazing clients and I haven't had a lot of fun, but I've been in this student certification rebuild place. And I didn't even realize that by going to school, I gave myself this sort of 2 years to just, I'm a student, so I don't have to be serious about anything. I really like put on that hat. Which was a little bit in conflict with trying to sell coaching, which is what they were telling us to do in the program. But I was like, I want to be a student. And I didn't realize until I'm sitting here and processing all this with you and thinking about it that that was also part of, I spent 2 years in school in this town. Like I went to my junior and senior year of high school. And how funny is it that I spent 2 years in school again from 46 or 45 to 46 when I was 15 to 16 here. And that there's so much integration and healing. Obviously, being in this town, I've been able to go to multiple spots where I had trauma and, like, do a little dance, make a little noise. Didn't make love there, but well, I guess so. I guess I prayed and sealed some moments and some things. And I think I didn't realize, but as you look back, it's like crazy. It's like the age, the timing, and then I'm leaving right as all this happens again. And it's like, ta-ta, like I did my work and I think I'm back to the path. Not that I'm back to the path I was 30 years ago, but it's like you're back to go and you're ready to go again. And who gets to feel like their life is starting again at 45? But I do. And anyone who says like your life is going to be over, you're old. Like I think a lot of people with kids get told that they're old by their kids a lot. And I don't think that's very good for you. See, I'm not around kids. Nobody tells me I'm old and I'm not old. Like I'm literally starting my life at 45. My husband's getting his cool first big job and we're relocating and, it's like adorable and lovely. And most people think that's old. I could have, like a lot of the kids from high school have like college age kids, right? And I've been married for 20 years. But I'm just like, I just got married. I'm just kicking off. And I guess I had to come back here and do some of that healing. And I share that because if you're into cycles or law of attraction, it's fascinating to see that for me, I lost my voice in this town. It was taken from me when I came at 15. Like that was the biggest thing. I could no longer express myself at all after being here. And I turned everything inwards and didn't share emotion and couldn't like everything. And so I have gotten my voice back in these 2 years here in the same town it was taken. And I have to wonder, did I have to come back here to get it? Like what activated it in me so strongly? And I went to school. I didn't know I was going back to school at the same time. And I didn't know that I was going to get my voice back while I was in school. I didn't know why I was making all this sassy, weird content. But in retrospect, I was getting a thicker skin, being judged for what I don't think or how I don't normally present. So that way, if I get judged for what I really do think and how I really do present, my skin's tough enough to not let it take me out because I was so easy to deflate. I was just hurt and didn't have a lot of self-esteem and didn't have people who just loved me unconditionally. And now that I have that in my space and have done a lot of work with myself, and of course we're never there. I still have plenty of work to go. I'm not saying that, but I've made massive leaps and bounds. I can go forward in a different way. And I think I liked myself or loved myself unconditionally probably before I came here at 15 as well. And that also was taken away. So to come back here and have those restored is so fascinating. Like I wonder, did I have to be in the same town? I know I said that, but was it that everything was around me so it was all spun up and in my space so I could address it and finally put it to bed? I don't know yet. But what I do know is I'm starting to feel completely different. And someone like me who works making content off inspiration, it's very interesting to feel the inspirations changing because I'm starting to get really connected to it. Like it's like, make that weird video today, Emily. Like a lot of times when I'm making a video, I'm sure it's really obvious, but it's not pre-planned. And it's just sort of in the moment, do this, and different things come out of those experiences. And it's interesting to now feel that inspiration shifting to like, no, you don't need to make videos about that. Like maybe I'm starting inspiration to make coaching videos. That's strange. I'm starting to get inspiration to speak what I really think and be a lot more, serious and really who I am, especially as a professional, but also as an integrated person who's healed a lot of trauma. I'm one of those people that shouldn't exist. I should be dead a million times over or in a nut house or in a prison. And I don't know that I should be in a prison. That's dramatic. But I definitely should be dead a million times over. Like something is going on with my digestive tract and liver that is amazing. Like I should be studied for science, hands down. But aside from that, it's really interesting to come into fruition and feel this shift. And I think that's why I really, I've had a lot of great practice coaching clients that help me get to 500 hours. And I think they've gotten a lot out of it, and I've certainly got a lot out of it, and we served each other. But there's been a piece of me that's hesitant to really go full coach until I grew up again, right? Until I guess, had my sweet 16. I can feel it now. I'm like, oh, you got to grow up, you got to graduate, and you're going to present completely differently. And thankfully, I'll be in a new market because I've definitely made a confusing imprint here doing all these different things. And the thing is, I've made a confusing imprint online too, probably, but then I feel like everybody forgets everything in 5 minutes anyway. The fascinating thing about social media online is like you can reinvent yourself in a week and people just forget. They do it in real life too, but it's a little different. So anyway, with that, I just thought I would share what an interesting time that this is happening. And I'm so grateful to be sort of growing up again this weekend. And getting back on the path that I felt I was on when I came to this town so many years ago. Feels really